Little Michael said.
If I can't stay home, then I'd rather be dead.
Oh, come on now, replied Michael's dad. Staying at Grandpa's house isn't so bad.
You must have no idea. You must not understand. For Grandpa is a scary, mean, ugly man.
Michael, what makes you say such things? Why do you think Grandpa's so ugly and mean?
Because he's old, he's wrinkly, his ear is overgrown, he's missing one eye at the tip of his nose. When I lay eyes upon him, I freeze up in fear. So I would prefer to stay right here.
Michael, there's no good reason to be mean. If I was missing my eye, would you be mean to me?
No,
Said Michael.
but Grandpa, you see, also loves getting free labor from me. He makes me pick up sticks and mow all the grass, feed all his dogs and brush all his cats, polish his shoes and iron his shirts for hours and hours until everything hurts. He makes me do chores, never lets me have fun. I won't last a week. In an hour, I'll be done.
When Michael stopped to take a breath, Dad closed the trunk of the car and said, all packed up and we're ready to drive. Come on, it's almost a quarter till 5. Michael was defeated. No way he could win. He opened the car door and hopped right on it. They drove and they drove for what seemed like days. And Michael's fear grew and didn't go away. His teeth began chattering. He chewed on his nails. As the buildings disappeared and were replaced by hay bales and cornfields so vast and flat empty plains, then just right on cue, it started to rain. A lightning flash here, a lightning flash there. Michael unbuckled and ducked under his chair. Get out of there, Michael. We're almost there. As Michael slowly lifted his head and peeked out the car window, he was filled with dread. For off in the distance, lit by a bolt of lightning, was a big wooden house, so dark and so frightening. Beside it, an old windmill that turned with the breeze, its old rusty metal blades going screech. We made it, said Dad when he pulled in the driveway. Try and have fun till I pick you up on Friday.
Fat chance,
Said Michael.
I want to go home. Please don't leave me here all alone.
Oh, Michael, my boy, you don't need to be afraid. Just remember that God will be with you every day, no matter what happens. Those are the facts. And who knows? You might end up liking Granddad.
I don't know about that, but I guess I don't have a choice.
Indeed you don't, said Dad with a stern voice. Now go get your stuff and knock on the door and, try not to track mud on Grandpa's floor. So Dad drove off, leaving Michael all alone. In front of the house, so foreboding, so cold. He took a deep breath and a loud gulp before putting his knuckles against the door. But the door pushed open and made a loud sound. Michael stepped through the doorway, but there was no one around. Then all of a sudden, from behind the door,
Hey, you're tracking mud all over my floor.
Michael flew backwards and fell flat on his back.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
That was the idea.
The old man said.
Now I know about you. What about this here mess instead? This house is pristine, it's clean and in order. And no whippersnapper grandson of mine will create chaos and disorder. So take this here mop, since you like making a mess. Mop this whole entire house, and then you can go to bed.
With a trembling hand, the boy grabbed the mop and mopped the whole house from bottom to top, until the floors glistened, so shiny, so clean.
These floors out here are real nice.
When the night finally came, the end of the day, Michael folded his hands and started to pray.
Dear God above, thank you so much for the sun in the day and the moon up above. I love everything you made, everything I see. But Grandpa is so mean. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Grandpa's probably better off alone. But if it's possible, if it's okay, please make my anger toward Grandpa go away. Please help me to love him instead. Good night, I'm going to bed.
The door to Michael's room softly shut as Grandpa, who was listening, walked away.
Someone wants to love me? I'll never see the day.
And Zane,
Wakey, wakey, you little brat. It's time to brush all the cats. Now get up, get up, get up. Or else.
So Michael hopped in the shower, but the water was cold. Found a towel to dry off with, but it was covered in mold. Sorry, I think I deleted a bunch of this by mistake. Found a towel to dry off with, but it was covered in mold. From the other side of the door, Grandpa said,
It is laundry day. Guess he'll be scrubbing all that mold away.
At least now Michael was a little fresher and a little clean. So he walked down to the kitchen to see what he could eat. He looked through the cupboards, searched through the drawers. All that he found was a single rotten apple core. Grandpa, there's nothing to eat, said Michael as he got back up to his feet.
Open that cupboard right above the stove. There should be some fruit in there, fresh from the grove.
Michael opened the cupboard, but all that he saw were 3 wrinkly prunes and a bowl of coleslaw. Who liked coleslaw in here? Anybody? No? All right. Me neither.
There's more stuff in there for coleslaw, you see. Now go eat your food and then make some for me.
Grandpa, what's wrong with you? What kind of breakfast is coleslaw and prunes?
My kind of breakfast. How dare you object? Now go do my bidding. I'm going back to bed.
Grandpa shuffled back to his room as Michael began doing what he was told to do. With pain and disgust, he swallowed his food, then made some for Grandpa and took it to his room. Then Michael brushed all the cats, fed all the dogs, ironed his shirts, and mowed the lawn. It was 1/4 till noon when Michael, exhausted, dropped.
Oh, those aren't all the chores that I've got. The laundry needs washed. Get rid of that mold. And the house needs dusted. So be gone. Do what you're told.
So outside, all afternoon, Michael scrubbed the towels and shirts and pants for hours and 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 hours. Then that is a lot of hours. Then shuffling up the driveway was an old woman and a man. Excuse me, they asked Michael. Are you Silas Callahan?
No,
Replied Michael.
but that's my grandpa, you see. I'm 1,000,000 years younger. How could you confuse him for me?
Well, we're his neighbors, the McGuires, and we were wondering if you'd like to go into town with us both and play some bingo.
What's this I hear?
Grandpa said as he stepped outside.
Someone wants to have fun with me? Ha! Nice. Michael, go right inside and dust the whole home as I tell these here liars to leave me alone.
So Michael went inside and said to himself,
Man, Grandpa doesn't like me or anybody else. That's how he's always been. He hates people, hates fun. I wonder what happened to make him become like this.
So he dusted the whole house and sneezed up a storm. Lost my place. There we go. Then he dusted Grandpa's room. When he dusted Grandpa's room, he found a secret door. Oh. Under his bed, covered in dust and dirty socks, was a small trap door with an old rusty lock.
A secret door? What could be inside? $1 million, a gold piece of pie? The 10 Commandments, the Treaty of Versailles? I must see what's inside.
So Michael tried to jimmy and jiggle the lock, even tried to bite it in half, but no such luck.
Blast it! Now my hands and my teeth are sore. But I must try to open that door.
So Michael sat on the floor, figuring out what to do, when from outside came a loud woo-hoo! Michael ran to the window and looked over the front lawn and saw the 2 neighbors from earlier on the run, running back and forth over and over. Behind them was Grandpa, chasing them on the lawnmower.
That's right. Get her done and get lost, or you'll be devoured by this lawnmower's jaws. Woo-hoo!
They screamed and they cried, "You're a mean, rotten man! We're leaving, we promise, and we won't come again!" So they ran like chickens without their heads into the sunset, never to be seen again. And then Grandpa stopped, looked up to the window upstairs, and saw Michael watching him.
Hey, what are you doing up there?
Michael ducked down, now filled with fear.
Grandpa can't know that I found his door here.
So he ran out of Grandpa's room and flew down the stairs and screeched to a halt. Then Grandpa was there.
I see you were up in my room,
Grandpa said.
Yeah. I was just dusting your bed. And your dresser, and your windowsills too.
Grandpa stood for a moment before saying,
Thank you, but you promised you weren't up there for any other reason. I don't like a grandson who's guilty of treason.
No, Grandpa, honest, I swear. I wasn't doing anything bad up there.
Very well. Well, that's all the chores for today,
Grandpa said as he began to walk away.
Grandpa,
Michael asked,
if I may inquire, why did you chase Mr. and Mrs. McGuire?
Well, I shouldn't have. They were trespassing, see? Right on my precious property.
But they only asked if you wanted to play bingo. Why can't you have fun? Why don't you like to go? Go have fun with friends and family. Why don't you like to have fun with me?
The answer,
Grandpa said,
lies somewhere in this house, in a secret place where it will never be found. Not that you need to find it. When you grow up, you'll understand that in this whole entire world, you can't trust one man.
Michael, now stumped, stood for a second.
Well, to that I have one objection. There is someone you can trust, way up above. And for you and for me, he has infinite love, which means it has no end. Doesn't that sound like the bestest friend?
Friends who love you always. I haven't seen one person like that in all my days. I've seen quite the opposite. That much is true. Not that it's anything that involves you. Don't snoop around. I've got my one eye on you.
Grandpa turned around and shuffled away in sorrow.
Maybe I'll get to open that door tomorrow.
End scene. We continue the next morning at Grandpa's house, where not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Michael was sleeping, but not for much longer, when at 5 a.m. sharp, Grandpa barged in, his voice louder and stronger.
Get up, little Michael, before the sun begins to rise. Get up on your feet and open your eyes. Today for you, I have a special job. But please, shower first. You smell like a hog.
A special job? What could it be? Cleaning the cat's litter box? Chopping down a tree?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Now hurry. The slower you move, the more I get mad.
So Michael showered and forced down the prunes and the grimy, slimy coleslaw too.
Come on with me now. Let's go outside and see how many coins we can find.
Coins? Michael said. Now where would we find those?
Out on the front lawn in the driveway, of course. Don't you remember when the McGuires came over? And how I scared them off with my giant lawnmower? Yahoo! Well, look outside. Through the window you can see. Pocket change that they dropped. Left there just for me.
But that's not your money. That's somebody else's. That would be stealing, and that would make you selfish.
So what if I'm selfish? So what if I'm greedy? Money and wealth is all I needy. Money is man's greatest invention, for it's easier to gain than one's love or attention. Now put on your shoes, button your shirt. It's time now to go to work.
So all that morning and all through the day, Grandpa and Michael were working away, picking up coins, picking up change, under every piece of gravel and between every grass blade. Finally, just as the sun was about to set, they put the coins in the pile, 110.
Who carries that much pocket change? The McGuires are sure rich, but equally strange.
Doesn't matter. It's my money now.
Grandpa said with an evil grin.
Now go to your room as I bring all this change in. And stay in your room until I tell you to come out. For where I hide this money, you'll never find out.
So Michael ran back up to his room as he heard Grandpa go into his room, too. It was then that Michael remembered the day before.
Hey, I wonder if he keeps the money behind the secret door. If I peek in his room very carefully, I'll get to see where Grandpa keeps the key to that rusty old lock. Then I can find out what all the secrecy is about. Surely it's not just money inside. Maybe diamonds and jewels or a gold piece of pie, King Arthur's sword or Pastor Charlie's bike. I must find out what's inside.
So Michael snuck out of his room, tiptoed across the hall, and slowly turned the knob on Grandpa's door. Through the crack, Michael saw Grandpa on the floor, hiding the coins under the bed and locking the secret door. And Grandpa got back up on his knees, and in his pajama shirt pocket, he tucked away the key. Then he climbed into bed, turned off the lamp, and went to sleep.
Prunes. Coleslaw.
Michael pushed the door open ever so slowly and snuck in the room without Grandpa knowing. A floorboard creak here, a floorboard creak there.
I gotta keep going. I'm almost there.
He stood over Grandpa, who was fast asleep, then slowly pulled out of the pocket the old rusty key.
I got it! I got it.
Michael said, before kneeling and crawling underneath Grandpa's bed. With careful, cautious, surgeon-like precision, Michael unlocked the door and completed the mission. He lifted the door and looked down inside, but all there was a hole, pitch black, darker than the night. There was no bottom, none that Michael could see.
All that for nothing! All that for nothing! Grandpa made a fool out of me!
An old laundry chute was what Michael had found. And there were no diamonds or gold piece of pie around, no King Arthur's sword or Pastor Charlie's bike. There was nothing inside. Then all of a sudden, above Michael on the bed, came a thunderous cry as Grandpa said,
Blast it! He made a fool out of me. Now where is that brat? And where's my key?
The bed frame above Michael rattled and creaked as Grandpa got out of bed and got onto his feet. Around the room, Grandpa slowly looked. Searching every cranny and every nook, he sniffed around like a hound dog, drooling like Oso. Then he made his way back to the bed, slowly but surely, as he said,
Come out, wherever you are. You're safe with me. I'll do you no harm.
Michael was terrified, stricken with fear.
Oh, Grandpa can never find me here. But where can I go? Where can I hide? Is this the night that I finally die? In which case, I'd like to leave my Legos to my brother. Someone, please write that in my will, if it's no bother. Please, please, please hurry.
Who's that talking? I can smell the rotten breath. Each step I take is a step closer to their death. Prunes.
Grandpa stopped at the foot of the bed, just inches away from Michael's head. And Grandpa's feet moved back as his knees hit the floor. And Michael crawled backward toward the secret door. But the secret door was wide open. And into the hole, Michael suddenly plunged way, way down below. He screamed and he clawed the further he fell. What happened next? Tomorrow I will tell. End scene. Michael woke up and opened his eyes. He was lying on his back with his feet toward the sky. Everything ached. His whole body was sore.
Oh, why did I fall through that door?
As Michael slowly got back up on his feet, pitch black darkness was all he could see.
Wow, it's really dark in here. There's got to be a light switch somewhere.
So in the dark, Michael groped until he grabbed a small, thin rope. He pulled it down with all his might, and alas, the room was filled with light. The chute Michael fell from led into the basement, and as he looked around, he was filled with amazement. There were piles of money, piles of gold, coin purses, wallets, and trinkets so old.
This must be everything that Grandpa ever stole.
Right in front of Michael, in the middle of the room, was an old wooden chest that was painted bright blue. It had gold trimmings from bottom to top and was shut and sealed under one golden lock. Then Michael reached in his pocket to see if he still had Grandpa's key.
Aha! I still have it!
Michael exclaimed.
Let's see what this chest has hidden away.
So he stuck the key in the golden lock, twisted and turned it till he heard a loud pop. He threw the lid open, but to his surprise, there were no diamonds, or gold piece of pie, or King Arthur's sword, or Pastor Charlie's bike, just a small piece of paper and a chain to lock it inside.
Oh, no fair! That's all I could find? A lame piece of paper and a locket inside?
Michael grabbed the chain with the locket on the end and opened it. Inside was a picture of a woman. She had a beehive haircut and a smile so bright.
Who is this woman Grandpa's hidden out of sight?
And Michael looked over to the paper nearby, grabbed it, and flipped it over on its side.
This isn't a piece of paper. It's a photograph of the woman in the locket and Granddad?
What's
Grandpa doing in this photo? And why is he smiling? I thought he was always so mean and reviling.
As Michael sat in utter confusion, a door on the other side of the room pushed open. There in the doorway, Michael could see Grandpa standing there menacingly.
What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa said.
And why did you open that big bright blue chest? Oh, you're in trouble more than before. You'll wish you had never found my secret door.
Grandpa lunged toward Michael, but Michael ducked and he ran up the stairs and back into his room again. He locked his door and hid under the bed. As he heard Grandpa walking upstairs while he said,
Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell a naughty grandson.
I'm in trouble. That's a no-brainer. What will he do when he finds me in here? Will he feed me to his dogs? Feed me to his cats? Chase me with the lawnmower for being a brat?
Is Michael toast? Is this his end? We'll find out tomorrow when we meet here again. End scene.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell a naughty grandson.
Grandpa pushed the door open to Michael's room while Michael was under the bed preparing to meet his doom.
This is it. This is the end. I'll never see the bright light of day again.
As Grandpa was just about to kneel on the floor, all of a sudden, there was a knock on the door.
Who could that be? Who's interrupting me from giving Michael a real butt whooping? I'll come back for you, Michael. Just you wait. Have to see another day.
Michael heard Grandpa shuffle down the stairs as he continued to say his prayers. He heard Grandpa open the front door before he heard a thunderous roar.
What are you doing here? Is it intelligence you lack? Didn't I chase you away? Tell you to never come back?
Well, that you did, said Mrs. McGuire. Thank you. But we couldn't just help it. Couldn't help but inquire if you would like to join Mr. McGuire and I in tonight's bingo game at 5:15.
Thanks, but no thanks. Now leave, come no more,
yelled Grandpa as he began to shut the door. But Silas, I hate doing this to you, but remember when bingo was Susan's favorite thing to do? We know you miss here dearly, more than we can imagine. We come from a place not of hate but compassion. It hurts to see you all alone. Now come, let's have some fun. Hiding away in this house won't help you move on. Michael heard Grandpa once again open the door.
How dare you speak of the woman I loved years before in order to coax me out of this here house? You're sneakier than a cat, yet filthier than a mouse. Don't you ever use my wife's name like that. Now leave my property and never come back.
Grandpa slammed the door in Mrs. McGuire's face as she sadly turned around and walked away. Now that she was finally gone, Michael knew that his time had come for the butt whooping Grandpa talked about. But instead of coming upstairs, he heard Grandpa sit on the couch. And after just a minute or two went by, he heard Grandpa sniffle and then began to cry.
Do my ears deceive me? Am I hearing things right? Why is Grandpa, the ugliest, meanest man alive, sitting down on the couch to cry? I probably shouldn't. I don't want to do it. But I need to crawl out and see how Grandpa's doing. And maybe, just maybe, he'll tell me about this Susan. Is she the woman in the locket in the picture? The only person I've seen who made Grandpa smile bigger? Campers, you I shall ask. Should I stay right here? Or go out to see Granddad? See Granddad? Are you kidding me? Oh, fine.
Michael crawled out from under the bed, opened his door, and down the stairs he went. Around the corner was a sight to behold. Grandpa sitting on the couch that was covered in mold, his head in his hands, his tears on the floor.
Michael, go away. Come back no more. You can't see me like this. I'm supposed to rule this house with an iron fist. But right now, I can't.
Said Grandpa as he put his head back into his hands. Ignoring Grandpa's command, Michael stepped closer and slowly put his hand on Grandpa's shoulder. Grandpa stopped crying. His body got tense before relaxing and crying again. Michael got up on the couch and sat in the dust and the mold, comforting Granddad.
Grandpa, why are you crying? I hope that you know that with me there's no lying. You can tell me everything. Tell me the truth and why you hate bingo. And who is Susan?
Grandpa sniffled once more and wiped the tears from his face.
This tale I will tell is a tale of heartbreak. Susan was the woman in the photograph, you see. Your grandmother, who was married to me. And boy, oh boy, she made me happy. She had a lovely smile and an even lovelier heart. Oh, nothing could tear us apart. But then it happened. One fateful day, with dark clouds in the sky and a hard, heavy rain. Susan wanted to go to the bingo competition. Well, I wanted to hike near the wildlife preservation. We fought back and forth for a minute or two before Susan gave in and said, "Fine, let's do what you want to do. But will we make it back in time for the game?" "No problem," I said. "But for now, let's enjoy this rain." So down the preservation trail we walked, getting soaked in the rain as we talked and talked. Then all of a sudden, the rain came down faster, and the river nearby began to flood the path there. We tried to run as fast as we could, but the water kept rising before a big piece of wood floated right past me and hit Susan in the face, catching her in the current and sweeping her away. "Silas!" she yelled as she disappeared from my sight. I tried to swim after her with all my might. But as I was swimming, a branch nearby poked me right in this here eye. I stopped for just a second as I winced in pain. But that's all it took for Susan to be swept away by the rain, into the night, never to be seen again. For years and years, I lived with the guilt and shame of losing my wife to that stupid rain. And not only that, but this never would have occurred if we had went to that bingo game, if I had listened to her.
Oh, Grandpa,
Michael sorrowfully said.
it isn't your fault that Grandma's dead. But what about that secret door underneath the bed? And the piles of money hidden in the basement?
Well, ever since that day, I made it my mission to lock myself away. But since I'm in here and can't get a job, the only way I could live was to steal and to rob. Whenever people like the Maguires come over, I chase them away on my trusty lawnmower. Woohoo! And on the ground, they always leave their pocket change that I throw down the chute at the end of each day.
So all you want from people is money that you steal behind their backs while they're running?
Money is the only thing that can fill this hole. Not family, friends, other people, especially the Maguires. All they do is remind me of Susan, her bingo, and the day that she died.
Grandpa put his head back in his hands and began to loudly cry again.
There's no hope for me. Forever I shall stay in this dark, dirty house for the rest of my days.
Michael, at last, finally knew why Grandpa was so mean, so cold, so cruel. And despite all the chores he was forced to do, deep down, Michael knew that he had to find a way to save this old man. So that night, lying in his bed, he began to form a plan. End scene. The next morning, Friday morning, Grandpa opened his eyes.
I can't say anything.
He hopped out of bed, put in his false teeth, and walked down the wooden stairs, going squeak, squeak, squeak. Then he rounded the corner at the bottom of the stairs. He stopped, surprised to see little Michael there. But not just Michael, his dad was there too. And a whole group of people, totaling about 22, including the Maguires and other neighbors too.
The whole town is here. Michael, what did you do?
Oh, nothing.
Little Michael said.
Daddy helped me.
Dad nodded his head.
You've turned this whole house into a convention. Are you staging some kind of intervention?
Dad, we know you've been hurting, dealing with so much pain, and unsure if you'll ever be okay again. I miss Mom too, since she was swept off by the rain. But time alone can't heal, nor can stealing or hiding in this rotten old house as you're slowly dying. We're here to help you, to show you the way to a bigger, better, brighter day.
And how would y'all go about doing that? Who can help me feel less lonely and sad?
We can, Dad, but there's someone else too. Someone who has infinite love for me and you. He knows what it's like to be lonely and hurt, so he's given us instructions in his holy word to help heal our wounds, to mend our sutures, to give us a life, a hope, and a future. Grandpa stood for a second with tears running down his face. Dad, it's not too late. In addition to giving us the scriptures to read, God has given you Michael, the Maguires, and me. We love you, and as long as we live, we won't let go. Now, how about some fun? How about some bingo? Grandpa looked down at Michael, then looked back up at Dad. He wiped, then around at everyone in the living room he had. He wiped away the tears, then hugged them both.
Let's do it. Let's play some family bingo. Yee-hoo!
For the next several hours, the game did go. Several near misses, several fours in a row. Grandpa was laughing for the very first time since before the day that Grandma had died. He barely beat Michael by the end of the game.
Well, I'm the king of bingo. Your technique is lame.
Hey, I'm not that bad, you see? Maybe when I come back, you can teach me.
You want to come back here? Michael's dad asked.
He better,
Grandpa said.
He's the best grandson I've ever had. He brushes the cats, feeds all the dogs, cleans the house, and mows the lawn. This old body can't do it. I need someone to rely on. And maybe, just maybe, a shoulder to cry on.
Dad smiled at Grandpa, and then at his son, as if to tell Michael, well done, well done. Alas, it was finally time to go. The guests all left, but promised to be back for more. Grandpa waved them all goodbye.
See you all in a while.
Before hugging Dad and then hugging Michael.
I'll miss you, Sonny. I know I made it hard, making you do all those chores like mowing the yard. But you showed me all the people that care and want to help me out of this pit of despair. So please, come back sometime soon, and maybe, just maybe, I can do something else fun with you. We can ride the banana boat, ride a pony or two. Whatever you want to do.
I love that, Grandpa. But what if you came to our house and did all that stuff instead? Can he come with us, Dad, please, pretty please?
Asked Michael as he got down on his knees. I don't see why not, replied Michael's dad. Let's pack up his things and put them in the back. Later that night, the three drove away from the lonely farmhouse that was rotting away into the sunset, the end of the day, where Grandpa and Michael learned it's okay to not be okay. That there's people to help us, family and friends, and an amazing God who loves us with no end. End scene.